Good morning and welcome back to North Dakota Today. Travel back to the 1860s with the North Dakota Parks and Recreation for an exciting event coming up, and Alec is here to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
Doing just fine, yeah.
Well, first things first, I think we all want to know about the outfit. I love it.
Good to hear. I'm glad. That's what I was shooting for.
Yes, so what is this?
So, yeah, because essentially what we're here to plug today is a really awesome event, a living history event set in the 1860s. I'm kind of wearing a typical get-up that you'd see an officer in the U.S. Army of the 1860s wearing. Everything's accurate, well-researched, all based on original items, things like that. So, that's kind of what you're looking at here is general Army 1860s stuff. I can make this a lot longer than it needs to be and talk about, like details and regulations, but I won't do that to you. I won't do that to anyone else. So
It is wonderful. I love it.
Thank
It looks very authentic.
That is the goal. That is the goal of the group and everything we do, and especially with the events that we try to put on it with Parks and Rec. So, yeah, that's the idea.
Wonderful. So let's get into the event a little bit more. What is it?
Yeah, so this June 10th and 11th, so next month here at Fort Ransom State Park, just south of Valley City. Essentially, we've got reenactors, living historians coming out for a living history event, kind of a soldier's life program where we're gonna have reenactors depicting what you would see from the Frontier Army back in the 1860s, 160-something years ago. We're going to be doing authentic stuff that you'd see like a company of infantry doing. So we're going to be on the march, kind of representing campaign stuff. We'll be out in the field. We'll be having authentic camps, authentic food and rations that be issued. We'll be doing, period correct drill. And again, just the idea there is to better educate people on what you'd see way back in the day out here in North Dakota in our home prior to it becoming a state and really getting settled. So yeah, that's the general idea of the event.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So have you had this event in the past?
So we've never done one at Fort Ransom. This is the first time at Fort Ransom. We had an event with Parks and Rec last year out at Fort Abraham Lincoln State Park in Mandan, North Dakota, just out across from Bismarck there. And that went really well. We had that one was kind of more set up to be in the fort, and it looked like garrison stuff. So we're representing soldiers who would have been, living at the fort, living in the barracks, sleeping there, and doing their, ceremonies and drill and things like that. We ate in the mess hall. Again, period correct food and things like that we were kind of bringing to life for the public to educate and, get a more accurate visual of what actual history looks like. So we did do that last year at Fort Abraham Lincoln, and that was a great event. Went really well. So we're hoping to do it again right here at Fort Ransom. So that's what we did last year, and went pretty well. So
yeah, wonderful. What has the community's response been to this?
Certainly, yeah. So last year it went great. We had really amazing turnout for the Parks and Rec department at Fort Abraham Lincoln. Tons of folks coming in from Bismarck and Mandan and all over the state, and then you get the people traveling through who it's fun for them to see as well. And people have very much enjoyed it. There used to be large events like that back in the 1990s and 80s and early 2000s with reenactors. So we're happy to bring that back for folks. I know a lot of people would come up and talk about how they remember seeing guys come do reenacting and living history out at those sites. So we're kind of bringing it back. And it's always fun to get to speak not only to interested adults, but there's a lot of kids. We do kids programs. Again, just a better education and understanding of history out here. Get to provide that for kids who are coming through the sites as well. So, yeah.
Wonderful. So what are you looking forward to most about this event?
Certainly. So from a reenactor's perspective, it's very exciting to be able to recreate frontier life, being out on the Great Plains, and of course just being able to get that experience of this is what these people had and were working with back then, and it really helps put perspective about how nice life, modern life is compared to times back then. And then of course I do just love being able to reach out to the public. That is why a lot of us do this, is we get some stuff out of it, of course, but we do like to, share with the community and help folks learn and grow through that understanding of history and provide a nice visual way to explore that. So I do like getting a lot out of that, and I know a lot of my fellow reenactors and living historians do as well. So yeah.
Yes, well, that sounds like so much fun and so much more interesting for adults and kids than maybe just reading about it in a book or even watching a movie. You get it right in front of you. That is so interesting.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, so you can definitely get, I know some folks, when you think about history, think of very dry history books. So yeah, it's a great way to, again, get that more correct, realistic, well-researched, authentic visual that you lack in a history book. So
yes, definitely. So one more time, what are those event details?
So yes, that's going to be June 10th and 11th out at Fort Ransom State Park, which is about half an hour south of Valley City. You can find some event details on like the North Dakota Parks and Rec website. So that's parkrec.nd.gov. And that's going to have your general times as well for the event. It's going to be pretty much all day, Saturday the 10th, and then go into Sunday morning up until about noon. That's when things will start to shut down. But anytime you arrive within that period, you're going to have various programs going on throughout the day. So you'll see drill, you'll see dress parades and ration issues and guys living in tents and cooking on their fires. So there's going to be various programs going on all throughout the day that will be able to be seen. Anytime you come in that period, you'll be able to see something. So feel free to come on out and check it out. Again, that's the 10th and 11th up until noon there on Sunday at Fort Ransom State Park. So.
Well, that is so exciting. We will definitely be looking forward to that event. Thank you so much, Alex.
Of course. Yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone.
Yes, we have much more North Dakota Today coming up after the break.